on my book and or a whole lot. We can even do leaflets, little leaflet, you never know. And all these things is money. So we need that support. Our medium, look, there's nothing wrong with asking money for support and answer.
Talking about asking money, right? Kwame Miles. Kwame Miles was talking about subsidies, something like subsidies that every European government, normally the countries that have kings or queens, they have like this kind of grants and donations kind of thing, which even our governments go to tap into. They tell them, oh, we need money for immunization and what's the name? Whatever, HIV, they give them money, right? So he was talking about how like artists can also tap into that. So that's another thing, like how we can also, these creatives can tap into getting these subsidies. It says that's right? Maybe to even set up a business or like get something to start, right? So that's also
my publisher, one of my publishers about centric music that they can tell you 3,000 pounds be happening,
exactly
5,000 pounds be happening, so you can apply it.
That's also one thing,
and then you have to tell them. And you know one thing, every artist that is watching me, one thing you should learn of. What the moment touches our sport way kakra. Say, oh, apply for that way now. Oh, besides say, sikani at the mawa, then out the bay. Say ni say then out the bay.
And we one
ask a young person, and because of that, you need to follow some of us. You need to say who's international yes courses in it. Say ya making. And I say what tell me, and any 2 days or say na what tell me a day be app be AI wo with me type it a day person be a little, you want a little knowledge about how to approach, how to write how do you call it, proposal,
right?
It will teach you all these things,
right.
Yeah, it will teach you all these things. In Diana, your friend saying to get money in the master, because everybody will be in one more this government of this. Our biggest problem in Ghana is how we handle money as creatives. Yep. How we handle our biggest problem in Ghana is how we handle money as creatives. Cause on sikana ediama no nim say ejuma ne de bia obenya. Sad also cause a lot in the mental health sector. Ebia ever say you are charging about 5,000 cedis for a song, or you are charging 3,000, you are charging I am charging this based on studio time or based on BB. I'm saying it in general. Fan say 1 hour relevant. Now uncle we bear 10 or more about you are different. You are using that excellent talent. I'm for feel you what I say. I say I say utimi hu nyansa say okay sikaya binya na be in 6 months time calculate ya ma menfanto bibi menfa sika we nse ebia motor business bim ana menfa nse bibi ana mento equipment. Let me buy equipment. Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
And then when you are doing that, okay, level now based on level now it will also tell you that okay, so if I get to this particular arena, then you do research, you do YouTube, you do ChatGPT, you find out what then I will share. Oh yeah, but mind you me, no Ghanaian creative will do that.
I mean, whatever we are saying now, right? You know what it goes back to?
Or the bepe ma or the be masem ana say what I mean, what as here, as one fast, and even with assassin no crown, baby, our assassin no crown. You have to be very sensible with it, because even and how to buy assassin, me no kasi young boy be YouTube or tell kwanya as or to assassin or educate you.
Exactly.
Or educate you. Yes.
Education, I think everything we are saying goes back to education, which I like that the guy I was talking with on TikTok live, he was talking about it. I was like, he's the first artist that I've ever heard that is telling me that now he's learning, or he's just learning. He has to learn the business. I was like, this is the first person that I've ever heard. Most people would not learn anything. And I've seen people last week, I spoke to this guy who is telling me this is his first year in music, has a very good song. He tells me he knows nothing. So he thanks God is like the contents we are producing is like kind of like met him along the way. So now he's now learning. Doesn't know anything, nothing, right? So it is like going forward, the education. Before you would even be able to know that, okay, you need a manager, you need a mentor, you need this. It means you have to get educated about the business, and then it makes you realize that this is what you need, and this and that is how you have to move. For example, if you need to maintain like your mental health for whatever we are saying, you realize that you yourself, you need a self-care practice. You need to practice healthcare yourself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you have to work towards reducing stress, which means you need a team. And you have to be open about communication. Like whatever is on your mind, there has to be somebody that you have to talk to. And you have to set realistic goals. And this setting realistic goals.
That's why I just woke up and I told you that I want to form a team with you.
Yeah, you told me that. You told me that.
I know the
setting
reason
realistic
why.
goals be very important, because if you set realistic goals like, okay, in 4 months this is what we are doing, in 6 months this is what we are doing, in a year this is what we are doing, every day this is what we will do. Those are like realistic goals. You get what I'm saying? And then of course taking rest, disconnecting from social media, getting professional support. Here, when any artist blows and is making some strides and you're a professional, you want to talk to them, they think you won't can chop their money too.
I won't say that particular side of honor, so some professionals and also they also behave funny kakra, because they also don't.
Professionals, Bema. Professional Bema. The artist manager that we will go and take, he's our friend. Or that artist manager is like very strong, he can fight. Or the artist manager is maybe the executive producer, is the one giving money, bringing money. It's not like they have any experience, So it goes back to the learning thing. Like if we don't take time to learn or teach people, it will be difficult for them for us to be able to move forward. I'm not expecting anything from any senior person in this country.
Artist manager ne de obia ote adwuma na sibia tumi ye. So your bampo na your boyfriend po na manage ana and anka ne papa mu no.
That's even the best.
Can the papa mu kra no ma warrior, it is even the best, because I know no difference no more the relationship no to nchen adwuma no more how you manage the business side of it. So them right. So yeah, as the way it is, isn't it?
Very well. It's all good. So I think at least we've covered enough areas. We'll see how sure. I'm actually making notes. I've made notes actually, so we'll definitely build up on that and work on a like a conference or something like that, or like a workshop, where people could actually come and listen.
Make this guy Nana P. Charlie Nana P. Try help us all back. Oba, you go fit come.
Nana P. Oh, I ain't far.
He said
Nana
this
P be
man.
my guy.
Okay,
What that
make I read the thing.
Oh, I ain't
Make
far.
I read the thing. You see, this man here is a top military officer, but still in music business. I know him. Sugar ranking.
Okay.
Anyone can learn and still do music. Education helps bring down mental health in music. I agree with you guys 100%. I wish you can come live, Nana P. I wish you go fit come live. Nana P, brand new invite to why? Will you beg?
Nana no. Oba Ghana na ese oba me ho na wamba me ho nti oso every so every.
Charlie, me say, I find saying, your business could be a year. Oh, yeah, be kasa later. No we dwane. Hi, chairman.
Ono dem so ni mo. Anyway, that's very true. Education will shut everything about this mental health issue. Because if you have the education about what to do and you yourself you learn,
But
it will be much easier for you to know how to move.
Also, my question be maybe sir.
Uh-huh.
I'm personally also asking, how do we also control our ego? Because in Ghana, it's like
education.
Education now.
Education. Any well goes back to the artist manager too.
Yes.
Think about what there's this saying that is around. I don't know how true that is. That is it Marcus Aurelius employed somebody to be whispering in his ears that you are just a man. You are just a man. To remind him that you are just a man. To remind him that you are just a man. Right? The implication is that you need somebody or people around you to shield some of the pressure. Nana P, welcome, Bema.
Thank you very much. But my name is but I think she is more interested about what you guys are talking about, and she would like to add something little about it. Why?
Bema, now what's he saying?
I say,
Bema, now who wanna make come as a move? I don't know that.
That's what they dada wa odi e filipa. Obofo na me dada na be yasem. Na odi
my ATY
Nana P. Oh, the ATY fee. We are not back.
I ono ka bro for na me de.
And I say, Kaka said, be our hand, and I got to say, the bro for penny.
All kind of menka. Oh no, she deals more with mental health and stuff like that.
Wow.
I think,
Wow.
Just 5 seconds.
Wow. Hello.
Hello there. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm well. Yourself?
I'm doing well, by the grace.
Wonderful.
I'm doing well too. Nice to hear from you.
Likewise. So, if you wouldn't mind just giving me a brief synopsis of the basis of the mental health angle you were speaking on.
Yeah. So we have this issue of almost low support systems in the country in terms of artists, young artists or musicians coming up. There's almost zero training in terms of music business management. There are no mentors, right? Everybody, myself personally and Obofo Raphael, everybody learned on the job. It's like we jumped off the cliff and grew wings whilst coming down. Some were able to grow the wings, but it wasn't strong enough. They crashed, So we started Street Academia TV to kind of like fill this void, because we still have young people in doing music, still young people coming in, because when you have the talent, it's difficult to say, I'm not going to pursue this. It haunts you if you have musical talent and you're not pursuing it until you have direction enough at a point, and then you decide that, okay, I don't want to do it anymore, right? But until then, we personally and most young artists bump their head so much, and unfortunately some like go crazy. you know. So
Yeah.
we were analyzing this.
They end up doing
Yeah, end up
drugs and you know.
doing drugs. Some have like uncontrolled
Yeah.
anger, and like so many different things, right? And some also are too passionate about the music business to the extent that they don't want to learn any other skill or even any other thing. That's the only thing they want to do, kind of like putting all their eggs in one basket. And so at a point in time when maybe they have a hit song and they've made some money, what to even invest in is also a problem. So
Right.
we realize that everything goes back to education, but we are also not expecting anything from the government because there's nothing.